All right, it's Wednesday night, and hopefully you got to be part of the Wednesday night service, but and this will be, of course, for Thursday morning. I really hope that you were able to tune in and enjoyed it, but if not, it's recorded, so you can go back and you can listen to it. I'll be honest with you, it is hard at times to preach to an empty room. I sure wish I had you folks there. You're such an encouragement to me. And I thank you, though, for writing in the prayer requests and giving those to me. That was wonderful, and that really helped me feel like we were right in the service again with you guys writing in your prayer requests. That was a blessing. Now, listen, I'm not going to take very long at all tonight. It's been, a long evening, and you've already listened tonight, and, you in the morning. So I'm just going to do this really briefly, but it's really good, I think. Of course, we're all the way down here in Psalm 23. We made it all the way down to verse 5 where it says, "My cup runneth over. My cup runneth over." Here's what I think about that. If you really just sit, you're David, and you think about how good God is, and here's what he's been talking about. He said, "The Lord is my shepherd." And how excited he is. He's a shepherd. He knows how much he loves his sheep. He knows how much he wants to take care of his sheep and how hard he works to make that happen. And he's a limited man. He's got an unlimited God. And then he says, "I shall not want." So he knows I'm his sheep. And just like I want to take care of mine, make sure they get fed, I got all of that. And he says, "He maketh me lie down in green pastures." He's there to help me, to heal me, to do what needs to for me. He's there to make sure that I get rest. He's there to make sure that I'm in a right and safe place. And then he said, "He leadeth me beside the still waters." He takes me to the pure water of his word. He just takes me into his word, and I can dive deep into that water, and it's so refreshing to me. He restoreth my soul every time I'm down a little bit, every time I stumble, every time I fall, even if I'm a little bit discouraged. He's there to restore my soul. Honestly, I was taking a walk and praying before I come in here, and my spirit was a little down, but he encourages me. He restores my soul. And he says, "He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake." He for his sake, he leads me so that I can walk in his righteousness, so I can walk the path that he has for me, so that I can live in such a way that I'm a good testimony for Christ, that I live so that I don't bring shame to the name of Christ, so that others look and know what a Christian should be, and how we should live, and the love of Christ, and the heart of Christ, and the emotion of Christ, and the desires of Christ. That's on the path that he's leading me. And then, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil." I'm not going to fear evil, even though I'm walking. Every step I take, it's in this wicked world. In this world, there's temptation. In this world, there's dangers. But I don't have anything to fear because the Lord is my shepherd. And so, and then he says, "For thou art with me." Now look at that. He's making another reason why he has nothing to fear, because thou art with me. And not only are you with me, your rod of protection, and God holds that rod of protection, and that staff, and that comfort of his Holy Spirit, that comfort of his compassion and love, that comfort of the nurturing, the spirit of the Holy Spirit is so incredibly wonderful. "And thou art on thy staff, comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies." God is he prepares my way. He goes before me. He goes to everything in advance. He knows what's going to happen. He knows what's going to happen right now in this chaotic world we live in. He knows what's going to happen in America. He knows what's going to happen around the world. He knows, and he has prepared for us. He's prepared eternally for us. And then he says, "Thou anointest my head with oil." He says, through all of this, here's what I want you to do. He said, "I want you to keep your thinking right. I want you to keep your thinking right on all the wonderful things I just told you. All the incredible things I just told you. And he said, now keep your thinking on that. Don't get thinking on negative things. Don't get thinking on discouraging things. Think on the goodness of God. Look what he's already done. Think back on what God has brought you through, what he's doing, who he is, who you are in Christ. And he says, just think on this. And you know what? If you'll dwell on these first few verses, if you'll go through these verses and go through verse 5 all the way to the end, you know what you'll do? If you really think about what he's saying and really think about the goodness of God, really think about how much he loves you, really think about what he does for you on a moment by moment basis, what he's doing for you in eternity to prepare for your home there. If we think about how good our God is to us, to me, to you as individuals, he cares about us so much. He's my shepherd. He loves me. And he cares for this old sheep. And he does everything for my good. And you know what that should cause you to do? That ought to cause your cup to run over. That ought to cause your cup of rejoicing to run over. That ought to cause your cup of love to run over. That ought to cause your cup of joy, of hope, of the future, of every moment, every breath. It ought to cause you to run over in joy. Read through this, think about it, and let it take it to heart. And what you'll find is that, oh my goodness, my cup runneth over. Now listen, what I'd love for you to do, I'd love for everybody that listens to this, everybody that hears this, I'd like for you to stop. I'd like for you to stop and read through this and just think about each point that we've talked about, and then do this. I want you to text me something that God has done so good for you in your lifetime, where you just, at that moment, you said, my cup's running over. It might be right now. It might be just by being in this passage. There have been times in my life I've been under preaching where I just felt like, oh my goodness, my cup's running over. There's been times where God has done such miraculous things in my life. I said, oh, my cup's running over. There's been times where I just knew he was with me in the depths of the trial, and I knew he was there. There was once that I was walking, and it was in a great time of distress and despair, and it was a great time of burden, and I felt like while I was walking, and I just felt like I started realizing I was holding my hand out beside me, and I had clenched my hand because I was holding his hand. He was with me, and I felt so close that my cup runneth over. There was one night when I was trying to heal from my surgeries, and I said, God, I just need to know you. And I have 3 ways back then that he would show me that he was thinking about me. If I saw a shooting star, if I saw a deer come out, if I felt just one drop of rain. And that night, as I walked, within 5 minutes' time, a drop of rain hit my lip. I walked a little further, and a shooting star. I just glanced up at the sky. I wasn't looking at the sky. I just happened to glance up at that moment. A shooting star ran across the sky, and I didn't walk 100 yards, and a deer ran right out in the road in the dark and looked right at me. And man, my heart was so full. I said, oh my goodness, if he shows me one thing, it lights my fire. But he showed me all 3 within 5 minutes. It was the most amazing thing. My cup was running over. My little daughter, Amber, after she lost her husband, she had a little God loves me sign of a blue heron. And on the anniversary of his death, her mama and Amber, and I can't remember which daughter, it might have been Candace, they were walking near our house in Crown Point, and as they were walking, all of a sudden they heard a rustling in the woods, and it kind of scared them. And out of the woods, right beside them, walked a blue heron. And Amber dropped to her knees. Not in despair. Her cup was running over. Think about it. Text me something. Let me know of a time. Let me know that maybe even right now, if your cup's running over. I sure do love y'all. Call me if you need me.